back to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make Excel's ident. So to start off with, we're going to make a composition. We're going to make it 1920 by 1080, 60 FPS, and we're going to make it 5 seconds long. Once you've done that, grab your text tool, set the font size to 380, the font to Billion Dreams, and then copy the rest of these settings. Then type in your name with a capital letter at the start. I'm going to use Excel's name for this. Then align it in the center of the screen. Right click on the layer, create shapes from text. Then we can get rid of this layer at the bottom, and we're going to duplicate this another 4 times for the remaining 4 letters. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then rename each of these letters to an individual letter in their name. Once you've done that, open up each layer, make sure that only the layer name's letter is the only letter that's in the layer. So we'll get rid of the rest in that one. Do the same with this one. Once we've done that, hit U on our keyboard, and we're going to grab our first layer, get our pen tool, select mask, and we're going to draw a skeleton going around the inside of the letter like this. So I'm going to put it on full quality just so I can see it better. Then we're going to click and click around the middle of the letter. Once you've done that, we're now going to search up in our effects and presets, stroke, and we're going to drag that onto our first layer. So once here, we're going to set these to this setting. So reveal on original image, spacing to 0. We're going to set the hardness to 100%, and we're going to set the brush size until the entire letter is filled, like that. Then we're going to be animating the end, like this. So set the first keyframe to 0, then we're going to go to 15 frames, set this one here to 27%, probably 37% is better. Then we're going to set the one at 2 seconds to 100%. Hit U on our keyboard, highlight F9 or keyframes as an ease, and then we're going to do this in our graph editor. So we're going to make it like a mountain, like we did before. So just like that. Let's look at how this looks now. So that's looking good, although there's one problem that I've noticed, and that's over here, it doesn't quite fill up the entire area. So we're just going to drag this mask bit down there, and then we fix that. Also, you can see at the start, this little line here, we don't want that. So the best way to sort that out is to drag this mask up a little bit. And we're going to add a bit of an opacity, so set the opacity here to 100%, go back to the start and set it to 0%. And let's see how that looks now. Once we've done that, we're going to repeat this step, but for every letter. However, with letters like X or the C, or where there's multiple bits to it, it's a little bit different. So I'm going to show you how to do it with the X, and then I'm going to fast forward through the rest of the letters. So what we're going to do is duplicate our X layer. On our first X layer, we're going to only keep this one line that goes down the middle here, and we're going to get rid of this top bit and this bottom bit. So select all the points that aren't part of the middle, and then select all of these ones up here. Once you've done that, we're going to go to our other one, and we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to get rid of all these bottom ones down here, and we're going to get rid of all the top ones up here. Once you've done that, it's the same step again. We're going to get our pen tool, set it to mask, and we're going to go a little bit further out this time so it doesn't start off so harshly. And we're going to, again, do it through the middle like that. We're going to put our stroke on there. I'm going to set to reveal on original image, set the spacing down to 0%, hardness up to 100%, and brush size until it fits the entire thing. Then we're going to animate the end again in in the exact same way that we did before. So the easiest way to do that is click, then hit U on our first layer, Control C on those keyframes, and then paste them on this layer here. So we're just going to paste it onto this stroke. Now we've got that one part of the X going, we're going to do it on the other part of the X as well. So we're going to draw another mask, and this time we want it to go from the bottom. So again, with the mask bit selected, we're going to go up and out through the layer X. Put our stroke on there, set the settings again, and then once we've done that, remember to fill it up all the way, and then keyframe the end and paste. And then what we want to do is we want to hit U on our keyboard, and we're going to move these back about 5 or so frames. We want this bit to be coming in when this gets close to there, so maybe more like here. See how that looks so far. We might need to increase the end right here on the E, so we're going to turn that up to about 55%. And we're going to make the X start a little bit sooner. So highlight, highlight, and then move it back. So it starts when this gets to about here. Next is the same process for the C and the E and the L, so I'm just going to fast forward through that. Once you've done it for every layer, it should look like this. And once you've done that, all we're going to do is hit Control A, Control Shift C, and we're going to pre-comp it. Next, we're going to duplicate this layer, and on the one underneath, we're going to get our text gradient that I made last time, put it on, and then we're going to get rid of the gradient ramp, set it to a transparent background. We're going to get rid of a couple of these drop shadows, get a fill, put the fill on there, and set the fill to a dark grey. About there is probably good. Once we've done that, you can see it's starting to take up the shape. All we need to do now is add the shine. So to add the shine, all you've got to do is, again, pre-comp it, duplicate it, set this one fill to white, and then mask diagonal rectangle like this, and we're going to set a keyframe, so hit M, mask path, go to about the 30 frame or the 45 frame, and with the mask selected, drag it all the way across. And what that will do is it will go across and make the shine, but we want it to be less harsh, so we're going to add a feather of about 10. What I might do also is make it a little bit brighter of a grey, because this is quite dark at the moment, so maybe like there is good. Let's go back to our first comp and let's see how it looks so far. So the shine is a bit too slow, so I'm just going to improve that by making it quicker and also a lot softer. Let's make it a little bit darker just on the shadow a bit one more time. To about there. That's looking a lot better now. So all that's left to do is to add the edited by up here and an underline. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the shine back a bit so that it happens after everything's complete. It's going to go over. I'm also going to duplicate the mask, and then we're going to move this mask back a little bit more to about there. I'm also going to make it thinner. With your selector tool out, click anywhere, select one of the points, bring it in, select one of the points, bring it in, go to the last one, Then we're going to need to move this out again to about there, and do the same again, make it fit. And what that will do is, if it's spaced out enough, which currently it's not, what we can do is we can turn down the feathering on both of these by pressing F, turn it down to about 10 on both. And that looks a lot better. So I've just made this underline right here, and I'm going to leave the project file to this project in the description so that you guys can look at it, copy the keyframes if you need to, and of course copy this underline that I've made. So all you're going to do is take this layer and we're going to put it into not this composition here, but the second one here. We're going to paste it, put it underneath the shadow layer, move it up to about there, and then we're going to do the same that we did with the other ones, and we're going to animate the stroke. So again, mask through the middle to about there, get our stroke, put it there, reveal on original image, spacing 0, 100%, thickness until it covers everything, and then again we're going to copy the keyframes that we had earlier, paste them on, move it back a little bit, and then we're going to duplicate this layer, put it underneath, copy the drop shadow, paste it on the one at the bottom, and let's go look at what that looks like right now with the shine and everything. So what I notice right now is you can see that the mask doesn't go far enough since we added the underline, so we're going to have to animate the mask path to go back even more. So let's move it even more. I'm also going to ease it just to give it a bit smoother. So that's looking a lot better already. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pre-comp all of this, and we're going to add some movement to it. So we're just going to add a scale of about 120 here, down to about 80 here, and then 0 here. And we're going to animate it like this. So it ramps out, comes in from the start, like that. And let's see what that looks like. We might need to change this if it doesn't look too smooth. So let's just look through. So right now it's looking like it's a bit too small, so we're just going to increase the size at the start from here to about 150, the size near the end to about 110. That's a bit too much, so I'm going to make that 100, and then we'll keep the same motion. What we're going to do now is we're going to go into the value graph, and we want it to be a little bit smoother, so we're just going to lift this up, angle this down a little bit, like that. So the movement now is looking a lot better. So all we're going to do now is add the edited by above it, but this is all optional, this last bit. So let's go back in to our composition, back into the shine one, and then we're going to type up mid soulmates italic. We're going to type up edited by. I'm going to turn down the scale. I'm going to move it to the top right corner, set the colour to red, set an outline to red also. We'll set the middle colour to a little bit darker red, so about there. And what we're going to do is we're going to animate a mask to bring this in. So we'll get our mask, I'm going to draw a rectangle like that, mask path, go to about there, and then we'll move the mask across until it covers it all, right there. You might want it to be a bit quicker, or just ease it like that. And let's look at what that looks so far. You might want it to come in a bit earlier, to about here, so we're going to do that now. We're going to go back into our pre-comp, and we're going to move this back to about there. That way it comes in before the shine, and as we can see here, the shine goes over the edited by as well, just like that. Now the final steps that we're going to do is we're going to add motion blur. We're going to also add to this layer some RSB. Again, this is optional, but from what I can see, Excel likes to do this. So we're only going to add a little bit, so about 0.2, because the brush stroke doesn't get motion blur as there's no motion. So let's play through this and see what it looks like. And just like that, we've managed to recreate Excel's Ident. So if you like this tutorial and you want to see more like this in the future, hit that subscribe button, make sure you drop a like, and suggest in the comments whose ident we should do next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another tutorial soon.